What's up, YouTube? I know I said in my last video that I uploaded that I was going to work on getting rid of some of these computer parts, and as you can see, a whole nother pile showed up. But I do need to go ahead and get in gear on this. I've just been very busy with work lately. This AMD build is what I'm really excited about. It's for my buddy. I'll be putting it together with him in a couple days. But for today's build, I need to go ahead and get my computer back in my bedroom so I can listen to music and watch movies on the TV in there. And I'll be moving parts over to this Rosewell case today. So just stay tuned. I'm going to try and make this video quick and painless. I was previously using a 3-rack unit Athena power case for the sound system in my bedroom, but that computer stays on 100% of the time. So dust accumulation is definitely a problem, and I do have 3 cats. So the main reason for switching over to this 4-rack unit Rosewell case, other than the fact that it was just sitting idle, not doing anything, is this one actually has a removable fan filter there, or air filter for the front, which is very easy to access. On the Rosewell case, you have to basically take everything out of the front just to get access to the little mesh filter. So very inconvenient for a system that runs 24/7. You can see I've already got a power supply installed in this case, a very nice Seasonic Focus Platinum unit that only has a few hours on it. It's a modular power supply. I think this is a 550 watt model, if I'm not mistaken. The motherboard I'll be using is the same one I've been using for the last 1.5 or 2 years in this particular function, my home theater PC in my bedroom. It's an Asus Prime B250M-C motherboard, micro ATX form factor on the LGA 1151 socket. The chip that's installed on it right now, I believe, is a G3900 Celeron or possibly a G3930. I'm not 100%. I guess I'll find out in a minute, because the CPU I'll actually be installing today is this Pentium. I don't know if it'll focus. There we go. Pentium G4400T, which is a low power consumption chip. It'll actually use, I think, around 50% less power than the Celeron chip and have identical performance. You can see I've already got 8 gigs of HyperX Fury memory installed, just 2133. And I've got this HP 120 gig solid state drive. It'll just be used to hold my CD collection. And for the sound card in this build, I'll be using this Delta 66 PCI sound card, and this is the breakout box that attaches to it. So pretty simple build. I'm probably going to delete these fans, or perhaps just swap in one other fan of a little bit better quality. Now these do push air. These are the ones that came stock with a Rosewell case, but they're very noisy, and this system has to be pretty quiet for my usage. Sadly, I am going to have to break off one of these slot blanks because it does have the breakaway style, but I have plenty of extra ones I can put back. And it looks like we've got a kitty checking things out over there. So I think that's a sign to stop talking and get to work. Alright, after removing the heatsink and the old thermal compound, I do in fact have a G3900 Celeron currently installed. A quick note about this CPU cooler, I believe it's the Arctic Cooling 11 or something like that. It's a pretty nice cooler, and obviously it's fanless, so it's good for stuff like home theater PCs, although it's only rated for like 50 watt TDP CPUs or something like that. But with these Intel boards, the backing plate for the CPU socket is not very robust, and this cooler's actually put a little bit of a bend in this board. Obviously it still works fine and everything, but if you're one of those people who's super picky, you might not want to install this cooler. Alright, about to reinstall the heatsink on the new chip. I'm using this NTH1 thermal compound, although I just used the last of it, unfortunately. My strategy for this one, because when you install this cooler, the motherboard needs to be inverted, I just applied kind of a thin square to the heatsink so that even if the top mating surface of the chip wiggles around a little bit when I'm trying to mount it, it shouldn't, you know, splooge out the side or anything unfortunate like that. The motherboard's mounted. a bit to my disappointment, I did not have enough standoffs that were all matching for this motherboard. It uses 8 mounting points, which is pretty good for a micro ATX, but I had to kind of pick and choose where to put the 6 standoffs I had, so that's probably going to bother my OCD, but I guess I'll have to just live with it for now. The board is pretty well supported, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going with this build, put the rest of the stuff in, and then we'll test it out. Alright, I've got the build pretty much complete. Just need to put the top cover on. Really not going to bother with any more cable management because there's not any moving parts on this computer that could get snagged. Everything's out of the way enough. This computer is eerie how silent it is. The fan on this Focus Platinum power supply, even when it's just in the normal mode, not the hybrid fanless mode that's activatable on the back of the power supply with a switch, but even in the normal mode the fan just twitches every once in a while, and the CPU, the heatsink, is cool enough I can put my hand on it even though it's been playing YouTube videos for a few hours now, and you can see the YouTube playback's pretty good. As long as you don't try to go 4K, then it'll just fall on its face, but good enough for a home theater PC, and it'll actually be most likely paired up with an older 720p Samsung Plasma anyway. But I'm really happy with how everything turned out. I will say that although the design of this Rosewell case is pretty good overall, I'm not super impressed with the construction quality of the case itself. It's a little bit on the flimsy side, but I was able to make do. And I think this will be a good build. So in the next shot we're going to see the installation where it's going to live. Alright, it's been quite a while since I recorded the rest of the clips for this video, but here's the computer in its final resting place. It pretty much just sits here and is there ready to go when I need some music or want to watch YouTube videos or Netflix, anything like that. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you saw today, feel free to comment or subscribe.